if it's an event, like I want to list it, because I don't want anyone saying I am gay and bored here in Grand Rapids. So that's one thing that I do. I've been lately bundling that up as a post on Instagram that is a weekend guide. So every Thursday around noon, I'm going to post what's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Welcome to another episode of Don't Quote Me. We're currently on Season 3, Episode 4. We are currently sitting in Strong Dance, which is a business here off of Eastern here in Grand Rapids. And I would love if you could introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your organization.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Joe LeBlanc. My pronouns are he, him. And I've started a business called Pink Wallet. And Strong Dance is one of the businesses that is a partner with Pink Wallet.
Very cool. Hence why we're sitting in this space, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. What problem did you see in the community that made you realize something like Pink Wallet needed to exist?
So, like we've had these Supreme Court rulings that were back just like a few years ago, just basically saying, you can discriminate against gay people if you're religious. Kind of the gist of it. And we had these rulings about cakes. And I think I remember also right here in Michigan, there was a hair stylist that was saying, well, I'm not going to serve LGBTQ people. And when I heard that, I was like, that's it. I've got to do something. So my first instinct was I have a bit of a background in payment systems. Worked for a debit card called TrueLink. That was a debit card for people who take care of people who have disabilities or in recovery. And
also very cool.
Yeah. And just seeing how you can do kind of financial tech work for good. And I thought, man, like what if I could do that for the LGBTQ community here in West Michigan?
That's a really strong why. Especially when there's a lot of just attacks in general on certain groups of people. I love that you immediately were like, what can I do to help? Were there any other gut feelings or reactions that you were having outside of I need to jump in? Obviously you leveraged your experience, but obviously even doing any financial businesses, it doesn't make it easy.
Yeah. Part of it too was just, I've always been a computer programmer and a hobbyist around that. And I've got a long list of side projects, and Pink Wallet ended up being one of them. I think if you talk to any software engineer, they can tell you about some project that they really wanted to get around to. And I decided, this is what I want to do. I want something that, for a change, a lot of software projects that people do, maybe they're making Uber for pets or whatever. And
I have seen that before.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I wanted to work on a software project that was very specifically focused right here in my local community for my people.
Awesome. That's very cool. So, it sounded like the inciting incident was in a reaction to something, but are there other resources? Or did you want to contribute to those resource pools for your community? The ultimate question here is why was it important to create a resource specifically for this community? Did you feel like there wasn't anything in this space?
Yeah. So West Michigan, Grand Rapids, does not have a LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. Detroit does. And also a lot of the media that you'll see that's specific to the LGBTQ community is focused on Detroit and Southeast Michigan, and also kind of focused on the gay, cisgender, male, white demographic. That you see a lot of times with those that media, it's a lot of it is sponsored by bars and bathhouses and alcohol, and maybe you enjoy those things, but also
It's a bit monolithic.
it's a monolith. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily speak to like an asexual, gender non-binary person who is disabled and just wants to find a place to hang out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and also way to broaden the horizon when
Yeah.
it comes to that. That's really cool. You're kind of opening the lens a bit. Building something community focused still requires a lot of entrepreneurship, I'm assuming, obviously. What have been some of the biggest lessons you've learned as you've been growing Pink Wallet? And like, when did you actually start it?
Yeah. So I started with some like mock-ups in 2023.
Okay.
And started with just building this whole huge payment system, and had that kind of working by like mid 2024. And when I put the finishing touches on it, it was like, wow, this is boring and nobody wants to use this. And it's also complicated.
Right.
And I actually shelved it for a bit. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pick this up again. And so I talked with my husband, and he said, Joe, this is West Michigan. You're not originally from here. Let me tell you, people want deals.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, people like the discount.
yes, they want their M perks. They want, a deal.
You're definitely not wrong. West Michigan is very notorious for that. Like,
Yeah.
check out this deal I got. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I decided to pick it back up again and figure out a way to work deals into the offering of Pink Wallet.
So let's talk a little bit about like the logistical side of Pink Wallet. So what does Pink Wallet do for the businesses that are partnered with Pink Wallet?
Yeah. So if you are partnered with Pink Wallet, first of all, if you have any events, we have a calendar that I update every month with all the events. You don't necessarily even have to be like a full member of Pink Wallet, as long as it's something that is open to the public and like generally applicable to the LGBTQ community, not like just a class or like a regular service offering. If it's an event, like I want to list it, because I don't want anyone saying I am gay and bored here in Grand Rapids. So that's one thing that I do. I've been lately bundling that up as a post on Instagram that is a weekend guide. So every Thursday around noon, I'm going to post what's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's everything from that calendar, and then a list of all the businesses that are partners that offer discounts.
Okay. So really it's like a resource of local businesses and entities that you could potentially get a discount for, but also happenings that are happening with those organizations, and maybe even a larger context that might not necessarily be the business partners that have the discounts, but there's still the happenings of what's going on here in GR.
Exactly. It's like having a little mini magazine of what's happening this weekend.
Cool. Is it now, we talked GR in West Michigan. Are you going all the way up to Traverse City? Is it just, and is it in Holland and Saugatuck? Like, what's the primary area for people that are watching this?
So my rule of thumb here is anything that I can drive to in an hour is covered. And sometimes I'll push that out a little bit. Like I'm not sure. There is Fernfest coming up for women and non-binary femme people, and it's out in the country here in Michigan, and I don't know if that's an hour drive from my house
so
necessarily.
There you have a rule of thumb, but there's exceptions to the rule.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How fitting. Yeah, that's great. So, have there been any moments or stories where people have found community just by discovering Pink Wallet and or like looking at what you're doing for the community that you could share?
Yeah. I know one of my friends who is a Pink Wallet member was able to find dog training for their dog through Pink Wallet, through one of the businesses that is a partner that offers discounts. Um, and a lot of people already knew about Lotus Brew coffee shop, but there have been Lotus Brew did move around the same time that we started the discounts. And
Are they right next to KCM? Is that the one
yes,
I'm thinking
they
of?
are.
Yeah, they're right
Yeah.
next to KCM. Yeah, which I love KCM.
Yeah, and I've still run into people who are like, wait a minute, I didn't know that Lotus Brew reopened because they had like a hiatus and had to find a new place. And I'm like, yeah, it is, and you get a discount if you present your Pink Wallet membership.
That's awesome. That's very cool. Obviously, Pink Wallet depends on collaboration between businesses, organizations, and community members. What makes a strong collaboration in your eyes?
Yeah. The first thing is that you have to either be part of the LGBTQ community or an ally. I really strongly felt that I wanted to include allies as a part of this. So, for instance, Punch Up Barbershop is another one of my partners.
We love Davis.
Yeah.
Davis is a longtime friend of mine.
Yeah. So I was going to a different barbershop for a while and saw that he moved into the neighborhood and started going there for haircuts and realized we had a few things in common. And also I just noticed like the way that he operates the shop. Like it's very non-toxic masculinity, and some of the other shops I went to felt a little more like a dorm room or a man cave, and I appreciated that he was doing something different, and it felt like a place where maybe someone who's non-binary or female and wants to get a short haircut can go in there and feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's really cool. What other ally businesses are you currently partnered with?
So Break Room Therapy is another ally. They are a rage room down in Byron Center.
Yeah.
So you can go down and smash up some plates and some cups and get out some rage.
I've never done one of those. Have you done it?
I haven't actually done it.
Yeah.
I've done like axe throwing before, but I still need to get down there to smash some things.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. It's definitely one of those things. My hat literally says 1-800-GOT-RAGE. I'm like, I feel like that would be a fun activity to do at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. So for someone who may not understand why resources like Pink Wallet are needed, what would you want them to know about this business?
Yeah. One of the things that I also ran into is we do have like some community resources. In fact, I would recommend if you are LGBTQ and in West Michigan, go look up the Queer GR Facebook group. There's a Facebook group and a Discord. And there are always people in there asking, where can I find a queer this or that, or an accountant? And I saw these questions so many times over and over again that I was like, hey, this is something that Pink Wallet could really help with. Just being able to have like something that is off social media. That's another interesting like little side tangent here. I had taken a break from Facebook for 6 years.
Wow. Way to go.
Yeah. And got back on to join the Queer GR Facebook group because I had heard about it. And, being able to have something where maybe you're not on Facebook, maybe you're just on Instagram or just on TikTok, or you're not on social media. If you didn't have access to that, you wouldn't be able to ask that question. So having something like Pink Wallet that is public and you don't have to sign in to see the business listings is really important.
Now, I know this is like another like practical logistical, so people can find you online. What's the best spot to look you up? What's the website? Like, do a little
Yes.
plug.
All right.
Yeah.
So the domain is pinkwallet.app.
Okay.
Um, it is, you can add it to your home screen as a website, and it'll just pop up in its own kind of app-like container. And it's a little hard to describe how to do that sometimes, but if you don't want to do that, it's perfectly fine to just use it as a website.
Okay.
So there's that. And then Pink Wallet GR is my Instagram handle. Believe it or not, Pink Wallet was already taken when I went to go.
Really?
Yes, register my Instagram.
Okay.
Also, I'm finding it's not the best for search engine optimization.
Yeah.
There are a significant amount of my traffic, according to Google, is coming from China. And
Interesting.
I don't know if it is like wealthy people from Shanghai, like looking for accessories.
I see.
But like if I search for Pink Wallet, that's what comes up is
Like literal pink
like
wallets.
literal Michael Kors
Yeah,
like
okay.
wallets and
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I was like, what would they be searching? Oh, duh, pink wallets.
Yes.
That makes a ton of sense. Okay. Thank you for the plug. I think that's very useful because some people, as you know, as they're scrolling or they're catching this, they might not know and like how to find it, and the specifics help. Yeah. What responsibilities do businesses and community leaders have in creating environments where people feel valued?
So this is one where there is a lot of low-hanging fruit the businesses still miss. One example, there is a restaurant that I will not name that is in a trendy neighborhood of Grand Rapids. And they opened, and I noticed that they had single stall bathrooms that were signed men's and women's. One signed men's, one signed women's. And I sent them a message saying, hey, wait a minute here. You could just like label these non-binary, like all gender restrooms, and you'd be fine. And they said, oh yes, we could. And then they never did it. So there's just like kind of a base level of responsibility that you can take that doesn't cost you much or anything at all. So making your restrooms gender neutral, especially if you have single stalls, like that's really easy. Or putting up signage saying, you can use the restroom that most closely aligns with your gender. That's one piece of it. Another piece of it is asking people their pronouns and sharing or using their pronouns when people share their pronouns with you. And then also, a lot of people in the LGBTQ community especially have tattoos and different hairstyles, and making sure that your employment policies allow people to express themselves through their hair and their skin is super crucial.
I love these practical tips. I mean, the reality is like as you said, it's low-hanging fruit, but it's also just how can you make it feel safe for people to actually participate with your business and or welcome them into your space?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Where do you see Pink Wallet 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I want to be selling tickets, is one of the things. I feel like we could be an alternative to Eventbrite, potentially. But as I'm also learning, you kind of have to follow where your businesses are going. So if they are using Eventbrite and getting value out of it, maybe the move is to find a way to integrate with that, rather than create something that competes with it.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I'm seeing is like I actually want, because right now with Pink Wallet, as just kind of a general member of the public, you buy a membership to Pink Wallet. And then that gets you access to the exclusive discounts here at Strong Dance and other partner businesses. And so part of my thinking is that could also be a way of saying, all right, here are tickets, and if you're a member, these tickets don't have any fees.
Okay.
And if you're not a member, here's like a small fee to like encourage you to like join.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So like really expanding the partnerships and the kind of zone of where Pink Wallet could
yeah.
actually help the community.
Yep. That, and also kind of back to the beginning where I was talking about we don't have an LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce here in West Michigan, and I don't know that we actually need one. Um, it kind of comes from an era where pre-internet,
Mm-hmm.
it was maybe buy this membership and you get a sticker for the window, and a listing. Um, but now with the internet, it's a lot easier to get the data out there. Um, but at the same time, like I want more businesses to be able, more potential businesses even, uh, to be able to go to Pink Wallet and find the information and the support that they need to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say the internet is definitely still in desperate need of people that are curating information,
Yeah.
especially for people's specific interests
Hmm.
and direction that they're going with their life. And it sounds like you could potentially be one of those filters, especially for West Michigan here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was talking with a friend of mine who yeah, he was another software engineer. We go back like 15, 20 years. And we were just having lunch, and we remarked all the apps are built now.
Mm-hmm.
There's really an app for everything. So when all the apps are built, I keep that in mind. It's like now it's all about, like you say, creation, not creation, curation,
Mm-hmm.
and things that are more specific and more localized, and yeah.
Actually servicing a specific need, because like there are a lot of like just general information, and Google obviously exists, but like the reality is it's really hard to sift through things on that
Right.
platform, and the tags aren't always accurate, and you might be stepping into a place that isn't necessarily safe. So having these added filters really do help with people actually navigating the waters. And the reality is, like, I'm not gonna say this, like West Michigan in general is not friendly when it comes to LGBTQ community, period. Like,
Yeah.
it's there are pockets for sure, but the reality is the larger communities, we're still in a season of like growth, if you will. It's still pretty conservative out here.
Yeah, I've lived in a lot of places. Um, I lived last in Austin, Texas,
Oh,
and
yeah,
yeah, so
that's pretty great.
yeah, well, and so it's interesting because Austin, everyone talks about it being this blueberry in a Red Sea or whatever, and everyone knows it as like this really hip, cool place. You might be surprised to learn Austin does not have a
You're
Let's
good.
say that again. Yeah. One thing you might be surprised about is that Austin does not have a freestanding Pride Center.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of shocking.
So it's like when you come up here and, Grand Rapids has one, of course. Kalamazoo has one, of course. There's one out in Holland. There's, one that's getting started in Muskegon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's...
So maybe we are doing better than I'm thinking.
Yeah. What I found in Austin is that a lot of people would say, well, we don't have one because we're so spread out. Another...
Seems like a weird excuse.
Yeah, it is a weird excuse. And it's also a lot of the resources that are there are focused primarily on University of Texas students. So maybe if you're a student at UT, there are a lot of resources on campus, but in the general community, it's just kind of spread out. I've heard certain things have like improved since I moved up here. I think there are some things that we actually do well here, but again, like you definitely run into a lot of conservative mindsets as well, and yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Is there anything that you would have hoped that I asked about Pink Wallet that you do want to just communicate in general? I mean, you've kind of got the platform right now. We still got another question of the soapbox moment, but I did want to ask you in general, is there anything that you wish that I would have asked you.
Yeah, and that's how do you become a partner business?
Yeah. Oh, that's a wonderful question. Yeah. How do you become a partner business of Pink Wallet? Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
That seems super obvious now.
So if you go to pinkwallet.app, I've got a couple of links, like a link at the bottom that says list your business. And there are a couple of options. One is you can have a free business listing. Like I just want to list everyone regardless, just to have as much detail as we can about the community. And then there's also an option to become a paid member, where your listing will be like a little bit nicer. It'll have photos, like an avatar, and all the things that you'd expect from like a social media website.
Very cool. So anyone that is here locally, they could just go to that website and like just sign up and like reach out, and they'll be talking directly with you.
Yep. Yeah, you can also, like if you see me on Instagram, just send me a DM and we can chat.
Cool. Did you hear that? Everybody needs to go do that now. Anybody that wants to sign up and be a partner business, go do it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Okay, cool. I do have one other curiosity, and that I think it's where have you found the most community and some of your favorite businesses when it comes to, especially locally here in GR, that you would highly recommend to people?
Yeah, I would definitely first recommend Lotus Brew as a great first stop to go to. Max has a free lending library of banned books, books that originally were banned in Texas and then started being banned in other places, and even here in Michigan as well. So that is fantastic. He's also got like a free pantry, and he's also had hosted vendors as well that have things that you can buy.
As we sit here in the middle of Pride Month, how do you think businesses can move from performative support to genuine support? How can organizations put their money where their mouth is?
Yeah, organizations need to start supporting the LGBTQ community all year long. We get a lot of attention during June, and then it all just kind of collapses. That's part of why I'm doing Pink Wallet as well, is like we want to kind of keep some of that momentum going throughout the year. And I think what a lot of businesses could stand to do is just talk to people who are trying to host events. Like for instance, I know there is like a Sapphic mixer that gets hosted at Lotus Brew, I think either twice or once a month. And they could probably use more locations for that, and more places where there's food available, especially if they what's also especially needed is events where people can show up without necessarily making a purchase. If you're familiar with the concept of third spaces, where there's spaces that are in the community where people gather, you don't necessarily have to make a purchase, and you can just hang out and be there. We do not have enough LGBTQ third spaces in Grand Rapids. We've lost gay bars over the last year. We have Lotus Brew, and it's awesome, but we could absolutely stand to have more. And that's something that businesses could help out with.
Joe, I do want to say thank you so much for doing this interview. It does mean a lot to us that you trust us with your voice, with your business, showcasing what you're doing in the community. It really does mean a lot to us, and like we feel really honored that you just took the time out of your day, collaborated with one of your partner businesses to welcome us into the space. I do want to just say thank you so much for being on Don't Quote Me, and I cannot wait to see what you do next with Pink Wallet.
Thanks. This was a lot of fun, and I'd love to do it again.